Since the beginning of my existence, I have been obsessed with vampires, and for many of the Halloweens throughout the years, I have been a vampire. And as I've gotten older, it has become my favorite thing to do is to make a vampire costume. Last year I was Mavis, I've been Marceline, I've also been a fish, which is not a vampire. Vampire fish? Just kidding, it was a dead fish. But that's all that my thrift store had to offer, so I was a fish. But I've also done many different versions of vampires over the years, and a lot of just me as vampire. You know how it is. I just really like vampires, and I would like to be one again this year. And probably every year for the rest of my life. And so this year we are obviously continuing that tradition, and I'm going to be a vampire. Specifically, I'm making a Lily Munster from the Munsters costume, which I'm really excited about because I do very much love pink, and I am doing a pink version of this. Kind of went back and forth on which version because there's so many, and I'm kind of like gonna do a mix between two specific ones, hopefully just the vibes of these two. Oh, hello. She's here. Anyway, so it gives you a good amount of time to... She's eating my plant. And I guess that brings us to where I say it's about 2 weeks before Halloween and I am panicking. So let's just get into it. The first hour and a half was spent doing this. How fun. Once I had all the pattern pieces trimmed, I went ahead and assembled it and then cut out my pattern. That took me 6 hours. But all of our pattern pieces are cut out, and I know that I'm gonna have to modify quite a few things for this, like the sleeves, since they are not shaped like spider webs. But we've made a really big progress today. Thank God. Next is cutting out the fabric. Alright, it's another day because that obviously took me a really long time, but I've laid my pattern pieces out. I didn't iron the fabric because this fabric is actually really, like, it's a lot. I think I'm gonna have a lot of this fabric left over and I didn't get enough for like the sleeve, but I'm also modifying the sleeve pattern, so it'll be okay. She better not be ruining it. So I'm just gonna cut this out and then we'll get to sewing. This is not couture, obviously. So before sewing this, I think this is a really funny angle that I always try to do to talk. I don't really do it to talk, I do it for mostly the sewing machine, but I went ahead and zigzag stitched all the edges of everything to make sure it doesn't fray more than it already is. Still don't have a serger. That's okay though. Now that everything's ready to go, because I've ironed, I've serged, I've cut them out, I've put the pieces together, it's time to sew it. I'm so nervous, this is the scary part. Apologies for the lighting, but after a lot of thinking about how I was going to do the sleeves, I've decided to fold it hot dog style, not hamburger style. Cut it in half, because that way the width of the sleeve is about the length of my arm. And then it goes down to maybe slightly past my kneecaps in terms of like half of the size. And then I'm gonna like cut in the bat wings. So that's the plan for this part. The sleeves are probably gonna be the last part, honestly. For the sleeves, I just drew out a batwing shape with a disappearing type ink and cut it out. And then I took the first sleeve, layered it over the fabric for the other sleeve, traced it out, and then cut out the second one so that they would match. Quick obligatory Selkie pets. She's always super curious about everything that I do. Anyways, next for the sleeves, I just looked into some images of sleeve patterns and then decided to wing it by cutting out an armhole that was about the size of the armhole on the dress, and then I just sewed it on. Then for the last step, I just sewed lace around the collar for a nice little detail. Alright, hello, welcome to the makeup portion of this video. I don't have a stand mirror, so that's why I'm holding this. And then I have started with a little bit of just like regular concealer just to kind of like lighten my eye bags a little bit. And I'm going in with LA CoverGirl white foundation, and I'm using my Tear foundation little makeup pump. I have two, so I'm just going to get started on that. I'm also not going blue, by the way. I might do blue eyeshadow, but I'm not doing like the blue shadows of the skin, which I guess you could probably tell by the pictures I chose for the reference earlier. Glue stick. I have never glued down my eyebrows before, so hopefully this doesn't look like shit. I think I'm only gonna do like the ends. I have really naturally thick eyebrows, so I don't shave them or anything because it kind of just feels like a crime. I might honestly regret this, but also this is a test because I have been really tempted multiple times in my life to shave off my eyebrows just to like, I don't know, this is not glue. Just to try it, you know? And I know they grow back fast, so it's not like I'll miss them. Now it's time to kind of match the foundation. Before I do anything else, I'm setting the face because I think this is good. This is good. We got something good going on here. I'm going to contour. I'm not really sure how to do eyebrows. I think I'm gonna mix black and brown and just like try my best. The eyebrows kind of go up like this.
After deciding the shape that I wanted for my brows, I went in and filled most of my brows with the black, as well as drug it down onto my nose for a little bit more definition in that area. I also softened the upper nose contour with my fingers a bit.
What? I don't know, being able to draw and find eyebrow shapes is kind of awesome. I'm cleaning up the shape a little bit with just white eyeshadow and recovering this corner. The corners are the hardest part to keep covered. Why? I'm doing slight noise contour just to bring back some dimension into my face. Maybe I'll just put powder over it. It's a little dark. This is where I have to decide whether or not I want to do blue or just black and white. I think I'm gonna do the blue though. I'm using this NYX Ultimate Rainbow palette, by the way. This is my cosplay palette. I'm just taking this blue shade right here. I'm gonna do like a wash all over my whole eye. I'm gonna put a little bit, just a little bit under the eye. Okay, I said a little bit, but that was actually like quite a bit. That's okay. We're winging it. I'm gonna do the same to the other side, obviously. Honestly, the corners, I think just need to be set twice. Maybe 3 times. Maybe I should have glued them a couple more times because they feel like they're just showing up on both sides. I was really careful on this side too. I'm glad I'm finally getting to use other colors in this palette because I've really only used like the purples and the reds, which is like pretty standard for me. I just haven't done anything that requires anything other than purple or red. And I'm going to darken it up with the darker blue in this palette, if it even does it. It doesn't look like it's darkening anything. I'm adding a little bit of black to my brush. I'm just using Lethal Cosmetics black. I have a build your own palette. That's much better. I'm like mixing the blue and the black. I'm bringing up the black a little bit higher. So it's kind of like a false cat eye-ish. Don't listen to me, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't even know if that's the right thing to call it. It's very hard to blend the second you get anywhere that the glue is at. I'm going to take a tiny bit of foundation and fix that up. Because it looks very wonky now. Just snatch those corners. Eyeliner time. I'm just using ColourPop Cream Gel eyeliner. And I'm not gonna go too crazy because she honestly doesn't wear a lot of eyeliner. It's mostly just eyeshadow. Well, it's a good amount of eyeliner, like around the eye, but like not like up, you know? I'm gonna take a small brush and I'm gonna just like blend out that black eyeliner, make it look a little bit better. And I think I'm just going to put mascara on now and call it good besides the lips. I'm gonna do a little bit of black lip liner just because that's what I have. For some reason the lip liner just completely came out of this. Let me just put that back in there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to line my lips anymore. We'll see. I think that's as much as I'm getting with the lip liner, honestly. And then I'm taking Own It by e.l.f. Own It Oh Face Satin Lipstick by e.l.f. And I'm gonna put this on. And with that, I'm gonna do a little something with my hair. I'm going to fix up my arms a little bit, and then I'll see you for the reveal. Good enough, right? And there we have my vampire costume of 2025. I am honestly pretty happy with how it turned out, especially because I don't really sew long dresses. I don't really sew much at all, just like little things. Like what you saw in my upcycling video is normally what I'm doing when I sew. I'm pretty happy with how the dress turned out. I had to think really hard about these sleeves and they look pretty cool. I will say with the wings, like the wings, they don't poke out. They collapse in. I think that honestly in the old pictures and shows, like if she would do that, she would have like strings attached to it, go through the whole thing, so it would be pretty obvious that there's like bat wings cut into there. Mine don't do that. But I do think that if I ever wear this costume again, which I definitely will, that I will be doing different makeup because blue is totally out of my comfort zone. And I think I could do a much better job with like more subdued colors. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!